Hey, this is the Well Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the topic of how we can improve the justice system. So for this video, I'm going to discuss how we can improve the justice system in a way to make people not only be able to live more happy, comfortable lives, but also reduce the amount of hatred towards the justice system, which a lot of people have. And obviously we need a justice system slash, to be more exact, the police to, of course, protect us. So for this video, I'm going to explain in a simple, straightforward way how we can improve it so there's less hatred towards the police, and organizations in the justice system. And obviously, as a result, we can have less conflict between the general population and the justice system, specifically, of course, the police, okay? So we can live in a much better world, okay? So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to how we can improve the justice system, it straight up comes down to improving the self-defense laws. In other words, creating better laws that let people be able to defend themselves. Because the truth of the matter is, I noticed one thing about the justice system, okay? The justice system historically, as in the past few decades, specifically in developed nations, and most specifically of all, in the Western world, is not really catered for people being able to defend themselves, okay? So, of course, as a result of stupid rules like that, you can kind of see exactly why people hate the police with such a divine passion, let alone the criminal justice system. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not, you took it too far, or whatever other crap they could come up with, the thing is, you defended yourself, and you had every right to defend yourself because you were not the instigator. You were minding your own business, and you were just being followed for whatever reason. This guy just wanted to start a fight for no goddamn fucking reason in the first place. I don't know what the hell, why some people are like that, but it's really fucking annoying. I think all of us know that. Whether it could be you live here in Canada, specifically referring to Toronto, mental illness is a big issue here. We have a lot of mentally ill people who just walk the streets, and people tell you please just ignore them if they're calling out to you or doing so and so forth, because God forbid you hit them and you hit them really hard. Next thing you know, you get in a world of shit, and now you have to go to court and all this crap and stuff. Is like, oh my goodness, you got to be freaking kidding me. And yes, it does happen because a lot of police are really goofy for even signing up these rules, for even following these rules anyway. And a lot of people go get some real massive amounts of money they have to pay, spend years in the joint, if you know what I'm saying, and just have a criminal record. And some of these men might be even strong, really tough men who've been through it all, and they just cry like babies because they got in a fight with some fucking idiot who just want to start a fight for no goddamn fucking reason, and you don't even know why. Okay, I don't know, and you ask the question just as well as anyone else. They just want to start a fight for no reason. A lot of times they will deliberately start fights, and they know that people are hesitant to fight back because if they do something, the police are gonna come for the person who fought back, and stuff like that's why the people hate the police so goddamn fucking badly. They are the fact, and that's also the problem, of course, which I think should surprise no one. The truth of the matter is, we obviously need a police because not all the time, situations in life you can say, oh, I can handle on my own. Not everybody has the time to spend a good portion of their day, let alone week and months, let alone years, just practicing their skills in fighting to make sure if, God forbid, a situation comes up, they can defend themselves. That's why we have the police. The police are the ones who do make the work easier for people, okay? But if the police, to put it bluntly, are going to enforce rules like that, then you can't expect the public to like you, okay? And that's the truth of the matter, because even though we do need a police to protect our society, keep things safe, and yada, 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 not everyone's gonna say, oh, I want to take care of shit on my own. To be quite blunt and honest with you, to put it bluntly, aside from that fact though, now we're done talking about that. To be quite blunt and honest with you, for that matter, obviously the truth of the matter is, like I was saying before, we need the police, but at the same time, you can't expect people to like you if you're doing shit like this. And that's why so many people hate the police with such a divine passion. Okay, just like if you live in a corrupt country, all the police officers are corrupt. Will you like the police? No, you're gonna say, oh, I hate the police. At the same time, if you obviously looking from an objective perspective, you need the police to keep society safe. But at the same time, if they're not really well organized and well thought out and well planned, you're gonna fucking hate them. So it's common sense 101. Okay, the people are not gonna like them, even though they might need them. Okay, and it's not even a case of we hate the idea of the police. We just hate the police force itself, the specific police force itself, because they're not doing a fucking good job. And that's what I'm trying to get across here. Okay, there's a difference between you hate the idea of the police and versus just hate the police based on the fact that they just do a fucking shitty job. It's like saying I hate the NYPD, for that matter, but does it mean I hate the idea of the police? No, but I just hate the NYPD because they're fucking corrupt and they fuck up everything. And that's an example I'm trying to get across here. So to sum up what I'm trying to say there, if we want to obviously have peace in society and not have these conflicts between people back and forth, oh, I hate the police, we should defund them and stuff, which obviously defunding is a bad idea, let alone these left versus right wing issues. I'm pro-police or I'm anti-police, and I have all these issues that could obviously jeopardize the very safety of our society, because oh my god, are a lot of American cities falling apart because of this exact reason. We obviously are going to have to call for reform, because the biggest issue people have with the fucking police is that shit. That whole, you do anything, you can't defend yourself, because that's actually what gets most people put in prison. One of the biggest things that gets people put in prison. A lot of people are damn rude, and a lot of things. Of course, there's also the racism issue as well. No shit. Which I'll cover eventually in another video. But the truth of the matter is, the main thing that makes people hate the police is the fact that they enforce rules that are stupid. Whether it could be, obviously some other rules like, protecting the people in power who are notoriously corrupt and other things. But one of the biggest things, of course, to surprise no one, is of course the fucking fact that they just support this particular rule. Because obviously in society we need to have harmony between people in authority and people who are not in authority. Okay, or more yet, people who have no authority versus people in authority. Okay, and if you do these things, of course, no one's gonna like the people in authority if they do a bad job at it. It doesn't necessarily even mean that the idea of logic is that we need them. If you're doing a bad job, people are not going to want you. Okay, so to obviously help end these conflict and issues between people, in all honesty though, the simple truth of the matter is we simply are going to have to do this. There's a lot of things that need to be done more, like to end this feud between the general public, a good portion of them at least, and the police. But this is definitely one of the things that causes the most tension. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, we all know, anyone who uses their brain knows that being a victim of an assault is not a pleasant experience. Okay, even if it's just down to they just robbed you, no one likes it. Okay, not only do they physically hit you, they also, it's just humiliating. People do talk about it, and sometimes people do make fun of you for what happened more than you'd imagine. Even family members, it's humiliating in that sense. Let alone it's humiliating because you feel like you lost the courage. You didn't have the ability to defend yourself properly, which is not a very good feeling at all. And sometimes, especially with this new generation, let alone with the way it was going, it can even become sexual. It happens more often than you think it does. And to think that I not only was minding my own business, I got physically assaulted, or say the person got physically assaulted, because that would never happen to me. But yeah, the person got physically assaulted and sexually assaulted, and they didn't do anything fucking wrong, that's not a good feeling at all. So to answer your question though, to think that someone would have to take that risk of having those things happen to them, and now they have to, when they fought back to prevent it from happening to them, now I'm getting a world of shit, is not good for anyone's mind, for that matter. Okay, it could really fuck people up mentally. It can make even grown, strong men just burst out crying even if you hit them, which obviously doesn't look good at all. So to answer your question in short, to put it bluntly, without a shot of a doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts, this needs to stop, okay? Because the quicker we can end this issue, the quicker, obviously, the police and the general public can start getting along. And that's the truth. So, anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. And simply put it, just to end this off, I have to say is that I hope you enjoyed this video. And just remember, if you like this video, like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. Simply put them up. Bye.